The Steam Deck, the handheld gaming PC/console hybrid that's poised to change the entire video game industry. It's the reason you're here watching this video. And the deck just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Whether it's newfound support from an established publisher, updates to the deck's software, or community-made tools, we're going to talk about all the news that happened this week. Because guess what? It's Steam Deck news time. First up, let's talk about Postal 4 and Postal Brain Damage getting Steam Deck support. Steam Deck HQ is reporting that Running with Scissors will be releasing these two titles as native Linux games. But there's no details on when we'll be seeing these releases though. It should be interesting to see how these native Linux builds are being supported going forward, as the other entries in the series already have native Linux builds. Currently, both titles are ranked as playable, and I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. Leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. In other Linux gaming news, Humble's got the Serious Sam bundle going on. It features 17 Serious Sam titles. If you haven't played Serious Sam's Bogus Detour, it's actually one of my favorite Serious Sam games. It's not in the same genre as the mainline series, but it's serious fun nonetheless. See what I did there?
That was terrible. I hate it.
I actually reviewed that game a long time ago in the before times. Now, if you're a Serious Sam fan like I am, check out this bundle. Most games are either native, playable, or verified, with only the first encounter, the second encounter, and the random encounter being unsupported. If you want to pick this bundle up, I've got an affiliate link below if you're interested. Now, did you hear that the end is near? The end of the deck reservation queue, that is. Valve has been steadily pushing their way through the Steam Deck order queue over the last 6 months. In hindsight, their production estimates have always seemed to be on the conservative side. This is actually a great thing since they've been able to update their projections several times, always expanding the number of weekly email invitations. At first, they were just sending out email invitations on Mondays. Then they added Wednesdays, effectively doubling the rollout. Then they announced more regions for availability. Several times during this whole span, they've announced on Twitter that they'll be sending out even more emails with every batch. Well, this week, Valve announced that they have beaten their production estimates yet again, this time completing Q3 reservations over a week in advance and getting a head start on Q4. Valve has said multiple times they aim to get to the end of the reservation queue before the end of 2022, and every indication right now seems to say that that's going to be the case. I'm looking forward to seeing the end of the reservation queue and having people be able to place on-demand orders for the Steam Deck. I'd like to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. So, one of my favorite games of all time is Halo Combat Evolved. I have the fondest memories of playing Halo on the original Xbox with my friends from church until 2 or 3 a.m. I set this screenshot from the mission Truth and Reconciliation as my desktop background because I thought it was one of the most beautiful screenshots I had ever seen from a video game. Now, all of this is to say, I love Halo. I've been very excited about the rumors that Halo Master Chief Collection was going to be getting an update to enable online play on the deck. And I've been wanting this for a while, but things kind of fell silent on that front. Well, not anymore, as Liam from Gaming on Linux was reporting that 343 is working on adding the necessary tweaks for Easy Anti-Cheat to work on Linux, and thereby on the deck. Apparently, enabling Easy Anti-Cheat on Linux isn't the one-size-fits-all solution that Epic made it out to be, actually. According to 343 team member Gregory Herman, quote, "We continue to work with Valve and Easy Anti-Cheat to enable Easy Anti-Cheat support on Steam Deck for Master Chief Collection. The addition of the Easy Anti-Cheat _x64.so file is one of the prerequisites for getting this working, but there are ongoing compatibility issues that our 3 teams are collectively working to resolve." But at least they're still working on it, right? I mean, I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Will Master Chief Collection ever get proper anti-cheat support on Linux? Leave me a comment and let me know. Have you ever noticed that there's a large portion of your Steam Deck's internal storage consumed by other? Do yourself a favor and head over to the Steam Deck's storage tab. If the other section is consuming more than like 10% of your total storage, you might want to have a look-see at this bad boy. This is called Deck Cleaner by Mia Pepsi. It's an open source tool that will delete your Steam Deck's shader cache. Now, don't worry, deleting the shader cache isn't scary. Shaders are either built by Valve for the Steam Deck and synced with your device when you download the game, or they're created in real time when you're playing the game. The fact is, though, that if you haven't played a game in a while, those cached shaders are just sitting there taking up precious space on your storage. Deleting the entire cache will allow you to start fresh, where only the most recently played games will continue consuming space. Now, this is a nice tool to help manage your deck, and it's cool to see the community create some awesome stuff like this. I'm curious though, are you enjoying this video so far? If you are, why not like that smash button? You can also smash that subscribe button if you're interested in staying up to date with all the cool stuff that we're doing here on the channel. And thanks. Now, if you haven't heard, Logitech is building a cloud gaming handheld. This cloud-only handheld is running Android, and it's basically a gaming tablet meant to play Xbox Game Pass and Nvidia GeForce Now. Cool, right? It's not. Firstly, because it's a completely flawed concept. Stop trying to make cloud gaming a thing, it's not gonna happen. So yesterday, as of recording this video, Logitech and Microsoft announced the price of the G Cloud handheld, $300. And once they actually launch the device, it'll be $350. $350 for a handheld that's essentially useless without a strong Wi-Fi connection. Think about that for a second. I'll wait. Fun fact, that's the same price as an OLED Switch and just $50 less than the 64GB Steam Deck. And it's why the G Cloud will be dead on arrival. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Just about everyone I saw talking about this device on Twitter thought the same thing. Firstly, because cloud gaming is a fundamentally flawed concept that has zero merit and is being pushed only by game companies that don't like the idea of ownership. But also because $350 is just way too much money for an Android tablet, especially when you consider that all Android tablets are outdated the moment they hit store shelves. They're basically e-waste, and they can't hold a candle to an iPad. But hey, it has support for the Google Play Store at least, so if you're jonesing for a Raid Shadow Legends hit, then make sure you pick one of these things up. It's sure to up your mobile game experience. Now, one thing I missed talking about in last week's deck news video was that Valve has launched new deck repair centers. This is a big deal as it means that RMAs and repairs should now be handled in a much timelier manner. In their post, Valve mentioned a few scenarios in which one might use a repair center. Quote, if your unit begins to develop an intermittent button input issue, which is rare but sometimes happens, contact support, who will help get your Steam Deck shipped to one of our repair centers. Our team will diagnose it, replace the buttons, test and calibrate the unit, then send the fixed unit back to you free of charge, as this is covered by warranty. If your dog gnaws on your thumbstick and breaks it, this is not covered by warranty. Previously, your only option was DIY repair, but now you'll be able to contact support, who will supply instructions to ship your Steam Deck to one of our repair centers. Our team will take a look and offer to replace and calibrate your thumbsticks for a fee. This process will also be available once your warranty expires. Now, a few things that I'd like to know here. Where are the facilities? Are they staffed by Valve employees or are they contractors? And what's the wait for repair times? Now, you can also obviously use the resources available on iFixit if you've got some of that DIY spirit. But I'd like to know what you think. How do you feel about these deck repair centers opening up? Let me know in the comments. And finally, just after I finished my last deck news video, Valve announced a new client beta. This included a bunch of interesting new features and changes. First of all, they improved media page performance for users with a large number of screenshots and restyled the media page to show more screenshots at one time. They made it so full screen screenshots can now be scrolled through by pressing left or right. They fixed an issue loading game carousel items on the home recommended tab and fixed an issue where the on-screen keyboard would not type into chat tabs. Then they also overhauled the virtual menu feature in Steam Input. The visual style of virtual menus has been updated. Virtual menus can now be named and moved between different sources or converted between menu types. Bindings such as keyboard, keys, or gamepad buttons will now display glyphs when the user has not manually picked an icon. Icons and colors can now be assigned in the configurator, menu items can now be easily rendered, and responsiveness of the cursor and general performance has been improved. And then on September 20th, they released another beta client update where they improved the responsiveness of on-screen keyboards. Then they fixed missing keystrokes when touch typing on the on-screen keyboard in desktop mode, and they fixed the in-game on-screen text entry dialog, sometimes having buttons cut off. And with Steam Input, they fixed an issue where command settings would not save, and fixed an issue where mouse edge spin would be more sensitive on the left side of a trackpad than on the right. Lately, Valve has been releasing at least one beta client update a week, and changes keep coming. It's wonderful to see, but I'd like to know what you think. What should Valve do to improve the Steam Deck software experience? Leave a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. Now, I want to give a special shout out to my friends on Patreon and my YouTube members. It's because of these fine folks that I've been able to continue growing this channel. If you believe in the work that I'm doing and you want to help this show grow, you can use the links below to become a Linux warrior and pledge your support. And thanks. Well, that's going to do it for now. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.